Good evening. Thank you, Serge. It is our 16th year operating as the Interfaith Center, and the work that we do is with hundreds of faith leaders, as you know, from a dozen or more religious traditions across the 5 boroughs. We connect religious leaders with each other and with public officials, roundtables, service projects, advocacy about shared concerns. This is how we do it. Better networked and more civic-minded religious leaders means stronger civil society for our city. Likewise, religious leaders educate their civic officials about the gift of religious diversity. One of the programs, however, not featured in the film is our Courts Roundtable program that for almost a decade operated in partnership with the New York Unified Court System. This program brought together judges and court officials together with religious leaders in order to discuss criminal and civil court policies and tackle issues from domestic violence to guns on the street to adoption to foster care and immigration. The idea was to get religious leaders into a court setting that was constructive and not intimidating. These roundtables were where ideas came into being. I remember when a judge from a domestic violence court asked religious leaders if they would open their sanctuary doors to the supervision or the supervised exchanges of children in court-involved families. So those children who, there was usually a domestic violence case related to them, but the father was generally had a court-mandated visit. How could that child be exchanged between the two parents? Well, 6 years later, children undergoing an exchange between parents do so in a church as opposed to a police station or McDonald's, which was where those visits were happening. In addition to the courts, we find ourselves in dialogue with the NYPD once in a while, introducing religious leaders to the community affairs units many years ago when the clergy liaison program was getting up and running. Continuing with the police community relations Marshall Meyer retreat with law enforcement from New York City, Glasgow, and Barcelona all comparing notes. And being part of this Communities United for Police Reform, which supported more transparency, less profiling, and the Community Safety Act. Now that the NYPD has entered its new Bratton era, we have yet another set of opportunities presented to us. And this could mean the roll calls that the different precincts have when the guard changes, or not the guard, but the shift changes. That could be used as a time to introduce local religious leaders to speak about their traditions and to educate police officers. It also means that we could engage in training some of the new graduates out of the police academy to walk with them around the beats and introduce them to neighborhood, to people in the neighborhood. There are many opportunities that we could do, and we need your help in order to do it. Perhaps tonight, with your support, we can breathe life into these programs and resume a relationship with our judicial institution, between our judicial institution and religious ones. We would be very glad to pursue a conversation with you or your business if you had an interest in sponsoring a court roundtable or a Rabbi Marshall Meyer partnership or the NYPD recruit training. You have a little 4x6 card in your in the piece of paper or the book that you've been, the dinner journal, and I invite you to fill this out now as I'm talking. I won't find it rude in the least, and that you give us your contact information and let us know if we can have a discussion about some of these ideas. So I want to invite back Serge to the podium. Thank you so much.